God, this is amazing. Hi, I love your car. What do you do for a living?
I take pictures of my asshole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Probably the most random thing you've seen in a while, but a clear sign of how powerful the simp economy is. It's, to say the least, a multi-million-dollar industry that is granting women tons of temporary cash, but a childless future. And yeah, they'll be pumped and dumped indefinitely while their beauty will fade at some point. It's pretty damn obvious that women get not only validation, but also money on these platforms. All in all, they're all about the money and not about their future kids. If a chick goes through a turbulent time, especially when the current dude is not performing in a certain regard, here's what happens.
When a woman posts a picture of a bikini and then sees her DMs like covered with men, then the next time her boyfriend's not on his best behavior, she can use that as a weapon. She can automatically post a picture, get a replacement, and go for dinner that night with somebody new. Now tell me we're not creating narcissistic women if this is the setup that social media is providing women.
She nailed it. Women are incentivized to leave as soon as they see the man's mistake. But if a man does the same thing, well, he's pretty much the devil incarnate for not showing empathy. He's an asshole. Men are done with it. Thankfully, this woman admits she was unhappy and still did something different.
And this guy hit on me, right? So he said, "Hey, you married?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "You happy?" And I was like, "No, and?" And the reason why I said no was because one, I'm brutally honest, and two, I was not happy at the time. But what does me being unhappy have to do with whether or not you have a shot? Here's the thing I realized. A lot of married people don't know how to be unhappily married and still not walk away. If you could learn how to be unhappy for a minute, your marriage will last. Because the goal in marriage is not happiness. The goal is to build a lasting relationship that withstands the ebbs and flows of marriage, of relationships.
DeMarco, we need another one. Where's the applause? Someone finally said it. No one gives a damn about your happiness. It's about making it work.
If only women thought like her. A bad time is not a bad life, but women are accustomed to thinking short-term only. Let's check some comments. I've been married for a long time, and I can guarantee you will be unhappy at some point. We have become addicted to happiness. Marriage is about purpose. Through that purpose, you will find happiness 1,000 times. Allow life to take you on a journey. Unhappy moments? Okay, fine. Unhappy marriage? Not okay. She was unhappy for a season, not the entire marriage. She stuck it out and things got better. In marriage, you won't be happy with your partner all the time because no one can be everything to you all the time. Be happy with yourself, find it in you because you're stuck with you forever. Then the unhappy seasons of marriage won't be so bad. Unhappy moments will come up sooner or later, but it's both partners' responsibility to make things work. It's normally the man who wants to fix things, whereas the woman only talks about how she feels. This is why most women ride the carousel and hit the wall at 30, making them ineligible for marriage. They think all they've got to do is change their appearance, but that's not enough.
Did anyone talk about this yet? I want to share my experience with aging. I'm 37 now. I'm going to be 38 in a week. And in the last year or so, I've really struggled with my appearance. And it's not so much of like a shallow thing, not wanting to look old. I know I'm not old yet, but if you're 20 something, you're like, oh, you are old. If you're 60, I'm not old, you know? It's all relative. But it's not even that I'm like upset about a wrinkle or a blemish or a pigmentation. It's this just really weird phenomenon that happens where you don't recognize yourself and you're trying to look like you always have, and not in an age way, but just in a recognizing yourself. And so I'll do my eyebrows and I'm like, well, that didn't do it. Okay, maybe I just need more concealer. And then that doesn't do it. And then you realize you've lost volume in your face. And I now have these like really deep, they're just hollow, right? My thin is more skin. Just all these things have changed that makeup can't change. I guess plastic surgery or like augmentation injections can maybe fix, but it's just odd to seek yourself in the mirror or on camera and not be able to find it, and having to become okay with this new person. And I don't know. I think women will understand. Like,
Okay. So
what you would look.
We can all agree this is an attractive woman, right? And you can look at her videos. You can pull it. Yeah, perfect. She's attractive. Okay. This is not somebody who looks to me to be overweight. This is somebody who takes pride in her appearance. And she actually was so affected by this that she put this original video up. And then she did multiple other videos where she actually showed old photos of herself. And said, do you see? Like, she was trying to talk to the audience, like, that doesn't look like me now. And she's having trouble. This is what we're talking about when we talk about hitting the wall. This is, by the way, a real thing that happens to women. And when this happens to you depends on a lot of factors. There's obviously genetics that play a role. There's obviously how well you did or didn't take care of yourself does play a role. Do you drink alcohol? Did you smoke? Did you have a period of life where you were doing drugs and all that? Because that takes a toll sometimes at a later date. How well do you eat? Do you exercise? What's the circulation like going through your body? Stuff that all of those things play a role, I believe, as to when exactly this stuff hits. And for some women, it happens early, right? You will hear from women who say that at 32, they go through what she's talking about. This actually did happen to me. It happened late for me. It happened truthfully after 40. I had a baby face for a really long time. And I know I get emails. You all are very kind. Oh, Dad, you look so cute. You look so good. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I had a baby face for a very long time. I was someone who was 35 and had a baby face, looked like 25. That's just the way it was, genetics. And by the way, I do take care of my health. I do all of those things and take it very seriously. So I do think that played a role. But I remember that I was married and I had a baby. And right after I had a baby, I remember being really tired. And I remember looking in the mirror and being like, why does tired suddenly look tired? And it was a moment. And I think some of that was just hormonal shifts that happen in women after 40. I think some of that is, she's right. You lose some volume in your face. You lose that baby face. I think some of it was I had just been through a lot of sleeplessness, and pregnancy can be, challenging on the body in many respects. And then I had a baby that didn't sleep. So there was that. But there is something that happens where you do look in the mirror as a woman and you say, okay, this stage of life of baby face, of, going out, and you kind of still could mesh with the 20 somethings, it ends. Right. And there's a maturity and there's something new that enters that you have to get comfortable with. Now, I think guys go through this something similar as well. I think it's different, though. It relates to, sometimes they lose their hair. That can be very traumatic for men. I think the aging process affects men differently. Sometimes it relates to their athleticism. But let me tell you something. As a woman, because youth and beauty and fertility are valued so much in society and by men, you do go through a moment where you look in the mirror and you're like, how do I get that back? Now, I will say, if you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked.
Let's get this straight. Women get tons of easy attention and validation in their prime. No need to self-improve. Having a hot body is enough to land some hookups, but down the road, she ghosts some men and some men ghost her too. She loses her looks, gets emotional baggage, and suddenly hits the wall. Her looks are gone for good, and she's got pretty much nothing to offer. Modern Women 101,
Because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there, and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that. And that is why women begin to panic. Now, I'm not saying that women won't still see it if they've got a husband, if they've got a child. I already had a husband and a child, and I saw it, and I was like, dang, why do I look so tired? But it's different. It's a different feeling than if you had to be in that sexual dating marketplace and you had to compete with younger women. I wasn't competing with younger women. I already was on my path. There was a lot of comfort and stability in the choices that I had made. And I had my man there, I had my child. If I didn't have that and I was looking to that next, that is why you have women in a panic rushing to the Botox, the filler. She's talking about volume. What do? They start filling everything. Like, what can I do to puff this back up? This is real, right? I have dark circles now. I was like, I used to have dark circles, but we're quite so dark, what's going on here? And I say this to my mom all the time. I say, now when I'm tired, I look tired. Before I was tired, I didn't look tired, it was a little concealer. Now I'm like, maybe I need a couple layers of that concealer. It's just part of life. So what I'm telling women is, do not, if you want a family, if you want a husband, do not allow yourself to get to a point where you hit that wall. You are 37, you are looking in the mirror, whatever age that is, and you see a different face and you see your youth going away from you and you start to panic and you can't find yourself in the mirror. Don't let that be the case while you're still on the hunt for a man, or you are going to feel inadequate, depressed, anxious, and rush in to do something toxic to your body to compensate for that. If women just listened more to what people like me are saying, and in your 20s, instead of burying in the career stuff and burying in everything else, you acknowledged the reality that what you have is going to go away.
And look, when some personalities say all of these things, it's not for the sake of bashing women. It's a wake-up call for modern women, but they'll still put their feelings first and think they're special, feeling as if they're able to be the exception. As you know, women are not that special though. Check this comment out. It's not that older women aren't attractive, it's that they are no longer attractive to the men they feel they deserve.
Emotional damage!
This last clip is proof that modern women sometimes do know what they need to do to make it work, but they're just too selfish to actually do it.
And why? Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 35.
All right. What's up with all these backup plans?
I've been told by my friends that I should have them, but I don't have the time or the energy to entertain multiple men. So
okay, you've been told by your female friends?
Yeah, my older ones, my younger ones. I'm like, it's not my lifestyle, and I don't believe in having backups. So.
Are you involved in a relationship right now?
Nope, I'm single.
You have any kids?
No kids.
Is that a dog?
Maybe outside.
Oh, okay. So why were your friends trying to tell you to get a backup plan?
Maybe because the previous relationship or guy that I had been dealing with, it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to. So they just said, well, go explore other options. And
okay.
I mean, for me, I wanted to work that situation out. So I'm like, I'm not about to jump ship. I found a great guy. I want to see if this could go somewhere. If it can't, then we move on to the next. Not having a.
When was your last relationship?
Relationship defined as we are monogamous. It's been some years. I've had plenty of situationships.
How many years?
I can't even tell you. I don't even remember.
Do you want to get married?
I do want to get married, yes.
Because that's a problem, though.
Yeah, I need to be intentional about dating.
Well, it's a problem because if somebody's going to interview you, you can't answer a question. How long your relationship is, last relationship, that's a red flag.
True. I totally get that and understand.
So, yeah, they're dogs.
Yeah, they're outside.
Okay.
I don't have
All right. She live in the PJs. Shout out to the PJs.
I don't live in the PJs.
Yeah. No, seriously though. Okay, your last relationship,
yes.
You were 35.
Yes.
Was it 10 years ago?
I'd say about a year ago.
Well, y'all were monogamous, committed.
Yes.
How long did it last?
It lasted about 6 months.
When was the last time you had a relationship over 2 years?
I have not.
Then how you plan on being married?
I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, I have some work that I need to do on myself.
Okay.
And I plan on seeking that. And I'm not going to go into a relationship or pursue that if I don't feel like I'm in that space to give you the best of me. So,
You know what I feel like right now? I'm just hearing words.
that's
Because what I'm hearing is I'm listening just to the structure. I can't tell you when the last time I was in a relationship, which implies years and years ago, and then you said it was just last year. Okay, those two things don't line up. How long were you together? 6 months. That's short. When was the last time you had a relationship over 2 years? In 35 years? Never. Then where are the relational muscles? And then you say, well, I want to get married, but I'm not doing any work. You're running out of time.
Oh, no, I said I was doing work. I'm working on it.
You're in therapy right now?
No, it's not in my budget, but I just moved and I have a lot that's going on. So it's definitely in the next month.
So I need you to understand, there is a clock on women for relationships. How much time do you think the average 35-year-old woman has?
Oh, no, I know I'm running out of time.
Do you want children?
I do.
Then you're certainly running out of time.
I'm aware.
Budget or not, see how that works?
I completely understand what you're saying, where you're coming from.
She's aware, but will not do anything to fix it. And this is how even attractive women do not succeed when it comes to retaining men. With that being said, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.